production.
Hey yo, what is poppin'? Alright, so let's break down what's going on in crypto right now. Super interesting. I do think it's kind of unfortunate what's going on, there's been a lot of fraud in the space, and it kind of makes things a lot harder to trust, and it's going to scare so many investors away. It's going to scare people who are in it out of it. It's going to create more speculation. There's a lot of just negative impacts that come from fraud. So for those who don't understand, the Cole's notes of what's going on is one of the major exchanges, FTX, who is owned by Sam Bankman-Fried, who is someone that I thought was like someone who, like, it's crazy because in 2020 and 2021, everything this guy is touching is going up. It's going like literally 10x, 20x, and then you find out a couple of years later that there's a bunch of fraud behind whatever the hell he was doing. I'm sure there's a bunch of investigations going on, but again, whatever. Cole's notes, what's happening is this exchange, FTX, was using customer funds to do illegal shit, from what I understand. I don't want to go too deep into the depths of it because a lot of it is still unclear. There's a bunch of rumors. They're still uncovering a bunch of stuff. And again, a lot of the stuff I might not even understand correctly. But what I know for certain is they're essentially going bankrupt, right? So what does this mean for the crypto space? What does this mean for FTX? Like, essentially, right now, people who were holding their money on FTX, they can't really take much of it off, right? Because it's locked up. They're going bankrupt. Like, how they're going to get bailed out, I don't know. Honestly, this is like, from what I understand, this is a more modern day. This is like Mount Gox 2.0, man. Like, this is, except Mount Gox was like some shady shit this is shady too. Like, this is, in my opinion, just Mount Gox 2.0, which is like a bunch of people have their money on this exchange, and now it's pretty much getting not stolen, but they're not able to access it. And now what's happening is this is going to cause a ripple effect in the space. What's going to happen is a bunch of these other crypto exchanges, Binance, crypto.com, they're going to have to start proving that they have the reserves and they have the means of, covering the balances of their customers' funds, and that they don't use their customers' funds illegally to do other shit and use leverage and like over leverage themselves. Shit like that, right? So this is what's going on in this space. Now, is all of this negative? 100%. But the one positive, again, I'm an optimist, right? Like, what is there that's positive that can come out of this, right? That's what I'm trying to think of. And honestly, what I think is there's two things that I think are major to note that I think is going to change a lot of things for crypto. I think this proves, like, all this fiasco right now proves that, like, really the only way people are going to, like, really trust crypto is if it's 100% regulated, which means in order to get into crypto, there needs to be a fiat payment gateway, which means you need to, like, e-transfer your money or have some sort of fiat payment system of getting your money to this exchange. That needs to have some sort of insurance, and it needs to be regulated. And also, they need to know who you are. I mean, it's kind of centralized that way, right? Which is shitty. That's kind of the opposite point of crypto. But I think it's going to be good, because what it's going to happen is it's going to allow people to have that trust to get into crypto. And then there's going to be insurance on the other side of it, where, say, you're trying to send your crypto coin to your buddy, and then you accidentally press this one thing, it goes to a wrong wallet. They're going to have to figure out ways to, like, make those transactions a little bit more clear to people, and, like, how to make sure people don't screw up sending their coins to the wrong address, or, like, there's certain things you have to do in crypto, like you send this coin here and then you want to wrap it. Like there needs to be way more clarity on all of that stuff, and I think that's the good thing that's coming about to this space, right? There's going to be more regulation, and there's going to be more clarity. There's going to be more tutorials. There's going to be more people, helping and creating content on like how to do this shit safely, and that is huge, right? How to take your coins off the exchange and keep them in your cold wallet, like in a ledger or a Trezor, right? These are the things that are going to be huge in the space that's coming, right? I don't think Bitcoin's going to go away. I do think, right? I have the chart pulled up here and we have it up. I do think we are going lower because this fiasco is just unraveling, and I think there's also more news coming out, right? Like now there's news that just came out, I think yesterday, that apparently crypto.com has accidentally sent the crypto reserves to the wrong address, and then they got them sent back, but only like 66% of it came back or 70% of it came back. Like it's a shit show right now, man. And I think that's kind of showing me that like, hey man, we're young in the space. We have lots to grow. There's a lot of safety protocols and things that need to get into place to make this shit a lot more feasible, right? And I was speaking about how making it more centralized will make it more like, safe, and people will trust it more. But that doesn't mean that there won't be a space for DeFi. I still do think there will be a space. I just think it's going to be a lot more risky. To get into that, you're going to have to deal with a lot more bullshit. If the DeFi stuff gets regulated, that would be huge, right? So again, my major point I'm trying to get across for the positive side is that like more regulation is coming, and when that happens, it's kind of guaranteeing that like, your crypto is going to be safe. You're not going to be screwing around and having like these frauds handle your account money, right? It's fucked up. So similar to like what's happening in 2008 with the Lehman Brothers, this is happening in crypto, right? 2022 though, like it's messed up, man. And secondly, the other positive thing, and this is sort of more macro when it comes to Bitcoin and crypto, but the US government now owns the most like crypto reserves, I'm pretty sure, in Bitcoin. And I think that the US could potentially use this as their like pretty much their kingpin now. Like they could be the leaders of regulation. And I think that if they are the ones who want to do that, and they want to take this step forward to be like, you know what, we want to be the ones to fix this problem and learn how to regulate it properly, it'll change everything. And I think that if they really do that, man, it'll be a power move, man. Like they're going to be the first ones who not only own the most, but that's a power move because now other countries it's a race for who's going to own the most Bitcoin, if you see what I'm saying, right? Like I just think that if that's the next play for the US, like that's huge. So in the next few years, it's going to be interesting. I think now is when we enter the bear market, right? This was this is exit liquidity of people making massive gains. Now is when we deal with all the bullshit that's going on with like the real ins and outs of crypto. Like who's telling the truth here? Who's like trustworthy? Which exchanges are legit? Like this is what's going on right now. So we're going to see Bitcoin, in my opinion, probably go lower, and we'll probably see it maybe hit 11,000, maybe hit 10,000. But if you're like a true if you understand Bitcoin and you understand the technology, like you're going to be gathering during those times. Now, I'm going to lead that into, again, like Wonderfi, because FTX was touching into Wonderfi, right? What does this mean for the company? Well, honestly, they need to come out, man. If I'm the CEO of Wonderfi or anyone high up in Wonderfi, I'm coming out and I'm telling my customers that like, hey, the relationships that we've had with FTX didn't have any, serious financial ties or anything like that. Like, that's what I would be saying. I do know one thing for certain. BitBuy, which is one of Wonderfi's subsidiary companies, did come out and say that they had no ties with FTX. So now we're waiting for Coinberry and we're waiting for the Unify structure, right? Like, we want to see all of the company entirely, and other investors like Kevin O'Leary. It's hilarious because O'Leary, in an interview not too long ago, came out and said that FTX is where he holds all of his money, and like he trusts FTX. And now look, right? So this could be bad news for Wonderfi. So what does this mean? It means we wait it out. We need to be patient, and we need to come out, and they need to come out with news, like more clarity, so they could be, so their customers know what the hell's going on. You know what I mean? Hey man, I'm not gonna straight up say like, oh yeah, I'm still bullish. Like, to be honest, man, only have enough money that you're willing to lose in this. Like, I'm gonna be straight up real with you. I only have like what, $1,000 in this. If this company goes bankrupt, I don't give a fuck, man. Like, I'm gonna make that back 10 times over doing a bunch of other shit in trading, right? So like, I have right now, my plan was to add more, but now I'm waiting because I need more clarity, right? So what's going to happen with Galaxy, right? This is another big thing in the crypto space. Like, what's going to happen with Galaxy? Galaxy had big ties with FTX, did they not? They also had ties with Luna. Like, what is going on? Again, Novogratz needs to come out, and he needs to be really clear with his customers. Like, well, man, this is what's going on. Because this crypto space, man, this isn't for the weak, man. And these companies that are like the ones that did show strength, if they survive this, oh my god, the amount of potential for like a huge upswing is going to be ridiculous. Like, absolutely, it's going to be stupid. Like, these names will 30x, 40x if they survive this, and that they aren't fraudulent, and that they are legit, right? The upside is ridiculous. I still think the crypto space is going to grow. Again, this is a pretty long rant here. I've just been listening to a bunch of this news all weekend with the crypto space, and it's been getting me thinking, man. It's wild west out here. So that's the breakdown of crypto. If you have any questions, I mean, shoot me a DM on Twitter or something. Like, again, I don't know too much. I'm still learning as I go. So, hey, if you know anything, leave something in the comments or anything like that. But that's the breakdown here. Again, didn't go over too much, just Bitcoin, Galaxy, Wonderfi, and a little bit more about the crypto space. But peep some other videos if you want more breakdowns. Easy.